Hey guys, today I'm gonna show you my mixing tutorial with new EQMaster. I'm gonna add my mini strips from this video about rings. I just reworked it for VCV Rack version 1, so you can get it on my Patreon, as well as this further patch and many more files you will know about further. Okay, let's start with adding a strip into our VCV patch, and let's load the first mini patch. Let's load LPGs, and here you will see 4 mix output, and let's connect it to our main MindMeld mixer. So you can see scope analyzer already worked, and as you can hear or see, there's too much low end already. I just decrease again of low frequency shelf filter. There is an option in right click menu of MindMelder for pre-inserts in filters. So in that way you can see the works of inside filter of MindMeld mixer on this frequency analyzer. Let's continue tweaking our EQ. Okay, let's separate a kick from kind of percussion sound with post outputs. There will be only one kick. Also, let's cut off some of low-end rumbling in this plucky sound. By the way, I've got inspired to combine mini patches to bigger one by a Reddit post. Also recommend you to visit this Reddit community, VCV Rack subreddit. I will left a link in the description. Let's continue tweaking our EQ. Let's decrease low mid frequency our kick to make it less boomy, and let's increase the click part of the kick. I should say the controls of this EQMaster is pretty awesome, and overall user interface is what I dreaming about very long time, and you can equalize it pretty fast, all of your tracks connected to MindMeld mixer. Also, I did some template for touch ask, and pretty elegant solution to control by multi-touching your frequencies, and you will find this also on my Patreon page. Okay, let's add another strip. This will be sort of feedback strip. There's already a cue, but I believe I made it just for correcting overall timbre of this mini patch. Okay, let's do some left-right processing and connect right cable to MindMeld. Let's switch to the third track. and let's remove low and rumble and increase low frequencies by shelf filter. You can also switch it to the bell, and this is pretty handy thing. Let's increase mid frequencies. I always doing sort of A/B comparison. This also will bypass your gain settings, so you can set your gain output to achieve a loudness effect of your settings, so you don't will fool yourself with that. Okay, this is time to add another strip. This will be 6th one, or let's add 2. Second. Let's mute solo this channel, sorry, to make sure that this will not clipping or destroy our speakers or headphones or ears. Let's link our clocks to make everything in the clock. As you can hear, previous kick worked nice with this bass. Let's look at the frequency scope. There is a technique to find some resonance in your sound. You just bump frequency with high Q factor, and you will hear a constant resonating, and then you just decrease it and adjusting Q factor a bit. This is pretty fast way to find out not needed frequency in your sound. The nice thing to use a low Q factor when not only increasing sound to get cleaner, but also when reducing. This is kind of putting this sound into the mix, so some kind of bass reachy sound will not conflicting with your kick or mid frequency sound. So in that way I've got separated sound, kick and bass, without a sidechain or activating ADSR, modulation and so on. Using the mutable rings itself in the mix is a pretty complex thing to do, and that's why I chose those mini strip to show you a power of new EQMaster. It can really glue such a different sound with so many movements. Sorry, without so many movements. It feels like a really creative process of making big patch from mini. Is that a reverb? You can also equalize aux passes with EQMaster, but I don't need this in this tutorial. Equalizing a reverb is a pretty common practice when you use some roomy sound to get a really close room sound, but without some unneeded resonating. Okay, I just add another strip here. I believe it will be some kind of texture for this patch. This frequency analyzer is pretty handy to find out all of those mid-frequency resonating sounds. It's just pretty easy to set a Q factor and find a frequency and then decrease it by the right amount of dB and then increase the gain and compare it with active and bypass state. By the way, if you have such kind of equipment that you don't trust to, no worry, in the end of the video I will show you a pretty easy trick to achieve the right tonal balance with so little steps. Just look at this video to the end and I will get you a pretty sharp answer. By the way, in the new version of MixMaster you will find stereo width control in right-click menus of the tracks. If you connect stereo input, of course, it will be activated, and in that way you will get ability to decrease your spatial or stereo width, and that is also pretty common practice in mixing. Just make sound tighter and very close to listener. Okay, let's try to add another strip here. Let's link clocked to the main, and this is kind of percussion. I think I will get some time to set up it right, just because it seems to me now it doesn't fit to the patch rhythmically and also by timbre. So I need a little time to find a sound. By the way, I think rings It's a pretty nice way to create some unobvious kind of percussion. Oh, here is a stereo beat on practice. You can see those percussions come closer to you. And then you can add reverb to get another dimension for this sound. Let's clock our chronoblock, fully wet sound. Let's add this instead, the reverb, to get more speed for this percussion. Oh, I like this effect. So transparent mixing effects with EQMaster. I very like how high shelf sounds. Also you can change it to bell, get more a sharpy sound, but not that transparent as with high shelf. Okay, and let's add another strip. I think this is also hard to fit to this patch, but I will try to do something to get it sound right. I used Waldemar VCO as LFO, and this thing doesn't have any sync. This is a pretty hard part of processing this sound to the complex patch already. But this is a huge field of experimenting and find a result that you will be shocked of. Also, there is a EQ expander, but I don't want to use this in this tutorial. But I think it's nice thing to get a complex sound design result with the mixer itself, to inject a really huge amount of modulations. simulated structure knob with just a gate divided by 8. Let's find the right amount of modulation, and this was pretty fast. Okay, I think that's pretty enough for adding strips for now. Let's get right to the mixing process. As you can know already, the mixing separates by 3 dimensions. Is a kind of pitch one, from low frequencies to high, and stereo ones from left channel to right channel, and vice versa, and depth or Z-axis is front of listener and completely diffused very far distance. And adding reverb with sense is pretty easy technique to achieve some background in your mix to make a contrast, and also you can make that. Okay, and here is my trick on tonal balance control. I actually just ripped off great but expensive and laggy Ozone Tonal Balance Control 2 with preset Bass Heavy. I think this preset's pretty sweet for modern electronics. I just get pink noise, equalize it, and get low and high curves. Make some tests and combine it to one stereo pink noise file and connect separate left and right output to Buck Audio Analyzer, and then I just control overall gain by clamp from Kurt and connect master output of mix to another input channel. And this is a gap between green and pink line that recommends to proper tonal balance control. Actually, Ozone Tonal Balance Control worked with LUFS values, so it said takes some time to get the track proper. I think it's around 1 minute, but I just set a smooth parameter on the Buck Audio Analyzer menu for maximum, and my recommendation will be ignore this resonating peaks of, for example, this part, and just find visually the middle position or thing. Okay, what I can say, we got already a nice balance in this mix. Maybe just I'm mixing it calibrated monitor system, which I used as mixing engineer. But if you will get the timbres on the road or in headphones you don't trust to, it's a nice way to get timbres or EQ settings a pretty fast way, and really in creative way you like, and this will sound loud and proper on different systems, and you will get messing with mixing then. Tonal Tonal Balance control software is awesome, but it's pretty laggy on my GPU. Everything starts slower. It doesn't feel like creative, but this method is pretty low power consumption one, and I highly recommend for you guys, especially when you don't know your references or something. There is some little recommendation on high frequencies. I know some people don't like pretty high level of high frequencies, so you can just ignore it, as in this case I actually don't have a high frequency hi-hat sounds or so I can achieve that values above 10k. But the thing is to control the mid frequencies in this region, and especially a low end settings. You can increase to the high settings in book audio menu, but in the middle one you will get so much peaks, and it's pretty hard to control it visually, of course. Meanwhile, I have just mangling with EQ settings here to achieve a more transparent sound and see if this tonal balance control method will help us to create rich timbre patches. And just keep in mind this kind of patch is pretty unobvious. I combine it from a bunch of small stuff from the rigs, and I just put a global bypass button, and that way you can check initial sound is so booming and not transparent, and with EQ, this amazing EQMaster, you can achieve those transparent transients. It sounds pretty clear, it's amazing. Still need decent headphones or speakers to see your decision right musically. But if you're new for mixing electronics, or even for all mixing, this stuff will definitely help you to achieve a cool sound. Just for a moment. So thank you for watching, guys. You can get all this stuff on my Patreon, the file for correction, this patch, Tachos template. I hope this stuff was been helpful for you. Thank you for watching, and see you later, guys.